Given the explanation in previous video, we are all set to solve this problem. So for this example, we have already written our H1, the fact that preference is independent of type of job, and H1 is what we want to test, and that is preference is dependent on type of job or not independent. And we said chi-square test statistic is coming from this equation. So as you can see, the first step is to calculate the expected value for each of the cells. I have already done the calculation and provided the expected value for each cell in this table. For example, how do I calculate the value of 136, which is the expected value for row 1, column 1? This value is summation of row 1, which is 340, times summation of column 1, which is 200, divided by total number of observations. Let's check another value. For example, this 64. This is the expected value of 40. Do you agree that 40 is located on row 2, column 1? So row 2 summation is 160, column 1 summation is 200, divided by total number of observations. Let's check another value. This 32 is the summation of, I'm on row 2, summation of row 2, which is 160 over here, times summation of column 3 over here, which is 100, divided by total number of observations. Now I can calculate my test statistic value. It is 160 minus 136 squared divided by 136. I will do the same thing for all the cells. For example, for the next cell, I will say plus 140 minus 136 squared divided by 136. I'll do this for all the cells, and finally for the last cell, I have 60 minus 32 squared divided by 32. Once I add up all these values, the value for my test statistic will be equal to 4964. The next step that we had was to compare this value with a threshold, 4964, with a critical threshold. What was our critical threshold? It was following chi-square distribution with the degree of freedom of r minus 1 times c minus 1. How many rows did we have in that example? We had 2 rows, 2 types of jobs, r minus 1 times c minus 1. R was equal to 2 minus 1. How many columns did we have? We have 3 types of pension plan, so it was 3 minus 1. As a result, the degree of freedom will be equal to 2. So I'll go to the chi-square table. I will read this value from the table, which will be 5.99. Obviously, the value for my test statistic is way larger than the value for the critical threshold, which is 5.99. As a result, I will reject my H null. Once I reject H null, it means I'm rejecting the independency. And as a result, I conclude that preference is dependent on type of job. That is my conclusion. So dependency is what we conclude for this example.